of you to drop in, and just in time for a song.
Gleaming down through the gates, watch the night suffocate all the light that smothers the sun. I can tell by the moon you'll be joining me soon as a guest in my fortress of fun. And I can't wait to see you and once again free you, release from your humorous hair. Someday I will replace.
What is up, all you comic book fans? It is the comic book villain coming to you with the comic book haul, the comic book day. It's comic book day for June 15th, 2016. Oh, sorry about that. Almost knocked the damn camera over. Oh, let me move it out of the way. Comic book day for a week of June 15th, 2016. A lot of books came out, a lot of number ones for Rebirth. I had to go to my local shop that I go to, then another shop to pick up some other books because they didn't have them all, and some of them actually ran out. But anyway, guys, let's get started. I believe this is my 9th haul. Yeah, it should be, I think, my 9th haul. My 9th or 10th. I'll figure it out here in a bit. I need to check that before I start my video. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, this is my haul. For you Spider-Man fans, Spider-Man number 14 came out today. Spider-Man and the Invisible Iron Man, ruined by regret. So there's that. Oh, and then the Tank Girl number 2 came out. That is the cover A right there. There was 3 covers to this. They were really cool. I only picked up 2, so I only thought I like these 2 better. Cover A, this one is actually cover B for Tank Girl. That's a really, really cool comic. For all you Star Wars fans, Han Solo came out. Yes, sir, Han Solo number 1. I think this is like a 4 or 5 part series. Anyway, last month or beginning of the month, the Scooby-Doo's came out. And Scooby-Doo number 2 just came out right now. This is a Jim Lee cover. Awesome looking cover right here. This cover, the number 1 cover, had 8 different variant covers. This one only came with 2 this time. When they opened up the store, I didn't have these pulled yet. I got to go get these off the new rack. Actually, all these comics, because I just opened up a box, and all the comics that I'm ordering, my first order of comics that I'm coming, they won't be coming in until next month. So then I'll be regular. They'll be in my box regularly. But right now, these are all these. I got to go pick them up off the shelf that are the new weekly comics. Well, anyhow, when I got in there was only 3 left, because I get there when before the store opens. I'm in the parking lot. Well, anyway, when they opened the store, I got there and there was only 3 left. They had 2 copies of this number 1 and this one by itself, and I was gonna take, if they had more, I was gonna take 2 copies of the B variant cover. The second cover looks awesome. Just the greens, look at that. The greens look just sick. Really, really great work right there. Okay, here we go with the Rebirth number 1s. They have, of course, all these have 2 covers. This is the variant cover. I thought this one was the better of the both of them. All these that came out, I think I only got 1 cover. A lot of guys were taking both of the covers, but I just wanted the one that I thought that was the coolest. Green Arrow. Sometimes I pull out my I have a compound bow. I do a lot of I don't do hunting, but I do a lot of 3D target shoots. Like I go places, go do the 3D target shoot. I'm not all for killing stuff, so the 3D target shoots it's a blast if you like archery, and I really do like archery. It's a pretty good skill to have, and plus, like I said, it's a good workout as well, because you don't just go stand around. You got to walk to the next one, and it's a pretty good walk when you go to the next one. All the property you got to cover. Well, anyhow, they keep rolling on about that. That is the Green Arrow number 1 Rebirth. This is the Superman Rebirth number 1. This is the last book of the Poison Ivy Cycle of Life and Death. This is number 6. This is number 6 of a 6-part issue or run, and as well as a Swamp Thing. This is a 6 of 6 right here. A nice looking cover right there. Just some good looking work inside here. Can't wait to get to that one too. Oh, and then the Batman. This is the only one I got both covers. I really like Batman, so I got this cover. This is the regular cover right there. Batman Rebirth number 1, and then this one. I don't know if anybody has ever been on Midtown. Well, Midtown Comics, the thing is, though, it didn't have none of this. The picture it showed was this picture right here, the cover, but of course it didn't have the Batman, it didn't have the Rebirth at the time. It just had this, all of this, but it had a Joker right here and a Harley Quinn right there. And it was this cover, and I thought that's the way it should have came. I thought that's the way it was going to come. But then when I got this one, I was like, hey, it has the Batman and the Rebirth. Because like I said, it had like the Joker kind of coming upside down. And then Harley Quinn was like kind of upside down as well. And I was like, hey, what happened to the cover? So, but anyway, I still picked this one up. And I was like, oh man, it's a cool looking Batman right there. But, so that was number one. So I went to the other, oh no, take it back. Oh, I got to tell you about this little story about this. I picked up this one at that same comic book, the place where I'm ordering my comics from. This one right here, I saw this one on Midtown Comics. It was coming out. They had a different cover, the number A cover, regular cover, whatever you want to call it, for $6.99. It had the Joker like right here, like on a world map or whatever. It was the Joker right here. Well, this one was the B cover. The regular cover was $6.99. This one was supposed to be $10. Well, when I was looking for it, I told the guy at the shop, I said, do you have the variant cover? And he says, if I do, it's probably up in the counter. So I went up to the counter because that's where we keep the variant cover. So I went over there, I went through the pile of variant covers, and lo and behold, it was there. Nice. I said, all right, so I took it. And I was expecting to pay $10. Well, I was in line, and it was already bagged and boarded, which, okay. When I was in line, I just happened to flip it over before I was up. There was like 4 or 5 guys paying before me. Can y'all see that? He had it marked for $14.99, and I'm like, man, it's $10 at Midtown. He said I could have ordered it, have it shipped to me, but it's like $3.99 for the shipping. But there's other comics that I want, and the comic, unless I go 2 pounds, unless I order 2 pounds worth of comics, is $3.99 for the shipping. So I could have ordered 4 or 5 comics, 6 comics, and it still would have been $3.99 plus my comics for the shipping. So I was like, well, am I going to order any more? I thought about it, and I said, well, look, you know what? I have it in hand. I have it. So, you know what? I went ahead and took it. Well, okay, now the upsetting part about it was, as I went to the other comic shop to pick up some other comic books that they already ran out of over here or didn't order. I said, well, let me just run by. Actually, this one is by my house. The only thing is, though, is that other shop, the shop that I go to, it's a small shop. He's a personal owner. He owns it. This other shop that I went to, the second one, it is by my house. It is, I guess, what they call a franchise, because there's like 3 of them here in the city. It's called Alien Worlds. That's what it's called. I don't know if anybody's familiar, if they got any around the United States, any other places. I've never asked. I just know it's more of a, it's a small shop as well, but it's more, like I said, it's more corporate, so it's like, well, I'm trying to support a local guy, which I'm not saying these guys that work there ain't local. I'm just saying this guy, he's local, he owns it. It's more like, he's more, I see it that like he needs the money more than the big corporate does. That's the way I see it anyway. Well, stop bothering about that. Well, anyway, I picked up, this is a second printing of the number 1, Gwenpool number 1. This is a second printing. I picked that one up there. And then this one also is a second printing of the number 1 Punisher. Any of you Punisher fans know the number 1, this is all red. This is a second printing of it. And then while I was there, I looked, I said, well, you know what, let me pick up, I ended up picking up another Han Solo. I said, let me pick up that Han Solo, so I did. And then while I was there, this is what I was really going for, because I did want a second copy of the Scooby-Doo, of the B cover. This is the one that I was really going for. And like I said, while I was there, I picked up the Gwenpool, the Punisher, and another Han. While I was standing there and on the weekly table, the new weekly tables, this was there. It was sitting there, Iron Man. I said, oh man, that is cool. I said, so I grabbed it. And I like that little sticker it has on there. Rejected by the Comic Code. That's pretty cool. This is, I believe it's a wraparound cover. I don't want to open it. I don't want to crease it. I'm going to call and find out if they got any other, because this was the last one on the table. And like I said, it is Alien World. So like I said, there's 2 more stores. I'm going to call around and see if they got any more of these Iron Maiden ones. If they do, I'm going to see if I can get them to hold me one. But there's Eddie right there in the back. Look at the little devil. He looks cool. This is just a cool thing. Well, while I was there, I don't know if I told you, the guy had this marked for $14.99. When I was at the second one, he had his variant covers at the counter too, so I started going through his variant covers. He had this issue. I went through it. I knew I already picked it up, so I looked at it. The thing was, though, he had this issue, Alien Worlds had this one marked for $5.99. I was like, are you kidding me? And I told him there, I said, man, I said, I think I just got hosed. He says, what do you mean? And I said, well, I said, I paid a lot of money. I got this copy. I bought it at the other shop. He says, and I paid a lot for it. He goes, how much did you pay for it? And I said, well, let me tell you. He says, for what you're selling that for with my taxes, I probably could have bought 3 of them. He says, oh, no kidding. I said, yep. He says, oh, man. He goes, well, you should check with us first. You know, call us and find out what I got. He says, anything that you want. He says, I'll hold it for you. And I was like, man, that sounds cool. And like I said, this comic book store, it's not far from me. It's close. But like I said, I believe it's a franchise. It's a franchise type of company, you know. It's a big commercial. It's Alien Worlds. Like I said, I don't know how big they are. I don't know if they're anywhere besides where I'm at, if they're anywhere around the country. But like I said, if they are, anybody knows if they are or not, give me a shout out. Tell me yes they are. Hey, they got 1 in my town. They got 2 in my towns or my city, my state, whatever. You know, just let me know. Yeah, that's the only thing that I was really kind of mad about. I said I kind of like felt that I got taken for a ride on that one. So I was like, oh well, but what can you do? You know, so I was like, well. Anyway, like I said, this is my comic book haul, my number 9 comic book haul, I believe. I want to say it's my 9th comic book haul. I'm getting a little bit better at making the videos, doing the videos for the comics. I'm just still trying to get used to doing the showing my comics and doing everything, the camera and everything going. Like I said, I mean, I've always done baseball cards. I've always opened up my boxes and everything on camera, talked about them, stuff like that. So I'm used to the talking. Now just getting used to talking about comics now. This and what kind of comics, what's coming out, what's next, and stuff like that. And that's just my haul. Pretty soon I might even get. I don't do any reviews. I'm not doing any reviews. I'm just doing my comic book hauls plus covers, any other special covers that are out there. I'm not doing reviews yet. But I might get into doing reviews. But like I said, I'm just still trying to get used to this. So I don't want to try to do everything all at once because then I know I'd really mess things up. But anyway, guys, that is my comic book haul. Thanks for watching. Leave comments. And this has been the Comic Book Villain. And laters.